Hi guys, thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a review and a demo on this eye look using a few of the products from the Tom Ford Soleil Neige collection. This collection has so many products. They're all very beautiful, but I did not pick up everything because that's just an impossibility for me. But I picked up quite a bit. So today I'm just going to share a few of the products that I did get. I figured I would break it up and do separate videos so I can go a little bit more in depth with explaining each product and just taking my stuff and really just appreciating each product for what it is. Sometimes when I do a lot of products in one video, I feel like everything's a little bit too rushed. The other eyeshadow that I did pick up, and I will be posting a video on this one, is the Soleil Neige. So I'll show you a sneak peek of it so that hopefully I intrigue you guys enough so that you can join me in tomorrow's video. So this is what tomorrow's video is going to be about. And then I also picked up one of the cream and eye powders that they released, as well as the dual highlighter and blush stick. And so those products I should be getting in the mail tomorrow, and you know I'm very much looking forward to that. The two products I'm going to be demoing in today's video are the glow drops. I have mine in the shade Reflex Gilt, as well as this eyeshadow palette. This palette, okay, it is beautiful. So this is the Soleil Neige palette, and it is a cool tone lover's dream. I am not somebody that likes cool tone eyeshadows very much. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't like them. I don't like cool tone eyeshadows on myself. And that's just because they tend to wash me out and they tend to make me look really tired. So as much as I do love cool eyeshadow palettes, and I own quite a few, I just don't reach for them as frequently as I would actually like to. But when this collection came out, I pretty much immediately knew that I was gonna end up picking up that palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert some swatches of this palette. The first shade is like a frosted sheen white. Then next to it we have a shade that I would describe more of a taupey shade. Now all of these are full of silver sparkles. You just can't tell as much on the white shade because, well, it's white. But as you can see, all the other shades, the silver sparkles are a lot more noticeable. The next shade is a dark navy blue, very sparkly, just really nice. The next shade is a little bit more unique. So it's a black shade, but it looks more to be like a dark charcoal. And it kind of has a brown undertone. It really depends on how you look at it, but that's sort of what I see with the swatches and even in the pan. And that may be due to those silver sparkles that kind of give a different look to this eyeshadow. Now this palette is limited edition, and I believe that's the case for all the products in this collection. I found all of the shades to work really well. I really didn't have much difficulty applying it. Oh, I need to also mention that this is one of those palettes with the formula that you can use dry or wet. Any of Tom Ford's eyeshadow palettes that have his initials in the center of the pans indicate that they can be used both wet and dry. And it's always really nice to have an option like that, especially for a palette with just a few shades in there, because it gives us more variety with the looks that we can come up with. So I think that's always really nice. I'm a huge fan of his eyeshadows. I have quite a bit of them, and it's nice to finally own an eyeshadow palette that's in this white packaging. I'm actually quite obsessed with it. I love his original packaging as well, but it's always nice to see something like this. It's just so sleek and bright, and just it really catches your eye. So of course, if you do decide to use these wet, it is gonna add a lot more intensity to these colors. They're gonna look a lot more opaque. So you can go from a really nice, simple, sheer look and then take it up a notch by building up the shade and then go even more intense by using them wet. If you wanna see these products in action, I'm gonna go ahead and roll into that. I dabbed into that navy blue shade, and we're going to go ahead and start off with this one right here on the outer corner of the eyes. And I made sure to tap off the excess because I'm afraid to get any fallouts, as I do have the rest of my makeup on here. Applying this quite lightly at first. And I'm pretty much going to apply it into my crease and onto my lid. So all of this, so this is going to go throughout the entire outer portion of my eye here. I'm gonna pick up some more there. So now that I placed some of that pigment, I'm going in with a clean brush. I really love this one. This is the Wayne Goss number 18, and we're gonna go ahead and blend this out. And I want to take it up some as well. I'm curious to see how this is going to look with a wet brush. So I applied some onto my MAC 283 brush, and we're going to go ahead and wet it and see what difference it makes. So we'll just go ahead and start kind of tapping this in place here. And obviously it's going to be a lot more intense, and that looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this off just in case I decide to use it with other shades. And now using my Sonia G Builder 2 brush, I'm going to dip into this taupey shade. And this one's really pretty. So I want to see how, oopsie. So I want to see first how this applies dry. If I like it dry, we'll just leave it alone, but we'll first try it out and see. So I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. That was pretty. Okay, that is a really pretty shade, but I am curious and I do want to see it wet. So back with the wet 283 MAC brush and this taupey shade wet. We're going to go over this here. And it does intensify the color. There's definitely a lot more opacity to it when it's wet than when we use it dry. And that's going to be the case, I believe, with most of these colors here. It just kind of seems to make sense so far with how I've been seeing the difference here. And then back with my blending brush, I'm going to blend the edges here in the crease. And this brush, by the way, has no product added to it. I'm strictly just using this to buff out any edges. So I think I want to add more blue to this look. So back with the Worker 1 brush, I'm going to apply this directly into the crease here to add just more depth. Now I usually don't use shimmery shades, like strictly shimmery shades for my eye looks. Here and there I'll do a look like that, but it's usually when I'm just using like 1 or 2 shades, not when I'm doing like a full-on look. But in this case, I wanted to see how all of these eyeshadows performed. Now, although when I was swatching it, these eyeshadows did feel a little bit gritty, especially the taupey shade, but when you apply it onto the lid, you don't feel like any roughness at all, so I did want to point that out. Alright, so I picked up, this is my favorite brush for the inner corner, and I just realized it's a Morphe brush. I never bothered to look what kind of brush this is, but it's a Morphe, I believe it's a M321, and I picked up the white shade. And we're going to go ahead and apply this in the inner corner. And I'm going to try to add this to a pretty significant surface here because I really want to brighten this up. But I'm not going to use this wet because although I want it bright, I don't want it super intense in the inner corner. So we'll just use this dry. Okay, so for the black shade, I'm just going to use this as an eyeliner. And I'm using this Kiko brush. It's a number 55 brush. And I went ahead and added some Fix Plus also because I do want to use this wet. And I also want to avoid fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and run this on my top lash line. And I'm going to make it a little bit thicker than I typically do. That first go around, it didn't seem to apply too much product. Maybe if you use a stiffer brush, you'll have more luck. But when I grabbed a little bit more product, I didn't add more Fix Plus to it. I just went straight into the eyeshadow. It did apply a little bit more darker. But I think this is something I'm going to have to build up. which in a way it could be good just because it's nice to have that control. This way we get more variety with a quad like this. You can use it more sheer, or you can build it up to have it look more opaque. So it is nice to have that option. Just know if you want a more opaque, a darker look, it's going to be a little bit more time consuming because you are going to have to take your time and build the colors. But these actually seem to be working really well together. They don't seem to be muddying up or anything. And that is very important for eyeshadow quads like this. But that actually applied pretty easily. I mean, I just had to build it up a little bit, but that wasn't too bad. So I got a little overboard on my left side with the eyeliner. I had to match it up with my right side. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue on with a bold look. So again, picking up that black shade with my wet brush, I'm going to connect this top eyeliner with the bottom lash line about close to halfway through. Then with the pencil brush, I picked up that blue shade and we're going to blend this out a little bit. I wiped off the excess, and now with the taupey shade, I'm going to connect the white shade here with the blue. So that wasn't really all that noticeable. I sprayed the brush to add more intensity to this. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara and I'll be right back. Okay guys, that's it as far as today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. Before you go, if you enjoyed my content, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget, in the next few days, I will be posting more videos from this collection. So you want to stay tuned for that. And so on the safe side, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those videos or any future content that I will be sharing with you guys. Thank you again for spending some time with me today. Until next time.